Welcome to CivilNet. We have a very special guest, an artist from Chicago. Her name is Jackie Kazarian. Jackie, thank you for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you for waking up so early to join us here in Yerevan. You are an artist whose work, your paintings, drawings, installations have been exhibited in museums and exhibitions around the world. You taught for a number of years at the Art Institute of Chicago. But that's not why we've asked you to join us. We've asked you to join us because you embarked on a journey. You have an initiative called Project 2015.
1915.
Pardon?
Project 1915.
That's right. Project 1915, excuse me. Could you please tell us what that project is about and where the inspiration for it came from?
Sure. The project, I have been painting for 30 years, and my grandparents came from historic Armenia. All of my grandparents came from Armenia, and when I knew the centennial was coming up, I felt compelled to do something to commemorate their memory. So I was thinking about the Armenian Genocide as being a first of the 20th century, the first major genocide of the 20th century. And I was thinking of another first, which is of the 20th century. Picasso's famous painting, Guernica, was his response to the aerial bombing in northern Spain. And it was also a first of the 20th century. It was the first aerial bombing of a civilian population purely for the reason of terrorizing them. And so I am creating a painting that is the exact same scale as Guernica. A lot of people wouldn't know about Guernica if Picasso hadn't painted that painting. And so I sort of thought similarly about this painting.
Yeah, I was, just so you know, I heard about this initiative of yours several months ago, and we have a commemoration map where we have listed all of those events that are taking place to commemorate the centennial of the Armenian Genocide, and yours was one of the first that we actually placed on that commemoration map. So I watched the short documentary that was made about it, and it's first of all, please tell us the dimensions of the painting, because it is quite colossal for a painting, and you have a whole system of wheel and pulleys that you've devised to be able to paint, just so that our viewers get a better idea of the actual sort of size of it.
Yes, the painting is approximately 11.5 feet tall. We're not in metrics here in the U.S. yet.
I know.
So it's I guess it's close to 4 meters high, and it's about 26 feet wide. So it's about 8-9 meters wide. So it's an enormous painting. It's actually a painting on canvas. It's on 3 panels, and the canvas has been made. The painting has been made, is stretched on a framework, wooden frames that can be disassembled, so the canvases can be rolled up and packed up and shipped easily around to other locations. So my intention is to tour the painting around the world. And like you said, I have an elaborate system of pulleys, and I have a rolling boardwalk, I call it, that so that I can paint across the seams of 2 large canvases, because the painting, I paint both horizontally and vertically, so that and I have a lot of wet paint so that I can control the dripping of the paint. I have the whole painting on the floor, and then I have a large boardwalk that I can so I can walk into the center of the painting and continue painting across the seams. It's pretty elaborate.
Jackie, you are a third-generation Armenian American, and you know, for 100 years. Oftentimes we coin it, 100 years of sorrow. We grew up with these stories that we heard from our grandparents or great-grandparents about the genocide. and it has shaped our identity in many ways. And yet this year, surprisingly and happily, a lot of Armenians are talking about the next century, about that we survived, that we are alive, that we have flourished despite the attempt at annihilation. And your painting isn't about depicting the horrors of the genocide. It's something else. What are you trying to sort of impart to the world with this painting?
Yes. Well, you're right. I decided that I really wanted to celebrate the culture that survived instead of. There are a lot of wonderful artists and painters who have depicted some of the terrible things that happened during the genocide, and I decided that I really wanted to make an effort to move forward, and also to have I present an identity that's about survival and about a rich culture that is something besides the genocide. I think that, so I've been looking at, I did my research, I really got interested in a lot of the topologies of the churches, the Armenian churches. So, and my grandmother was, like a lot of Armenian immigrants, my grandmother does Armenian needle lace, and watching her do needle lace growing up, and I actually learned it. I knew how to do it when I was little. That lace is something that I decided to represent in the painting. For me, the needle lace was the connection to the craft and the culture, so the painting has images of the needle lace, and it also has images of the topologies of some of the churches, and it's really. I was also looking at illuminated manuscripts, so some of the iconography of the illuminated manuscript is also in the painting.
Do you have plans, or do you have a schedule? Do you know where it may or will be exhibited? Have you spoken to people?
Yes. Well, it's going to be the big opening for in Chicago. It's going to be opened in Chicago on April 17th. I have a space. It's going to open at a place called Manna Contemporary in Chicago. It's a big art building, and with an opening reception. And I'm going to give an artist talk, and then we're going to also have a panel discussion in May, and then. We're working on making connections to institutions and university galleries around the United States, and also we've been communicating with some of the organizations in Armenia. We hope to take it to as many places as would like to present the painting.
Jackie, thank you so much. Thank you, first of all, for the initiative, for giving us the time, and certainly hope that the painting becomes part of the conversation that's taking place this year and hopefully beyond, because as we said, we continue to survive, so we will be surviving after April 24, 2015, after the 100th anniversary. So the best of luck, and we'll be following the progress and the journey of your painting.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria.
I'd like to remind our viewers that my guest was artist Jackie Kazarian from Chicago. Stay with CivilNet.